So M&K and escrow is kind of one and the same issue. So in July, you guys signed some NODCs, notice of valuation change for M&K. Upon reading it, they are actually appealing a finding from the Department of Audit. So I've called the Department of Revenue and talked to Kim and Matt Sachet with the Mineral Division. And I guess the Department of Audit did an audit review on M&K's production and found discrepancies. And they turned it over to DOR, and there was the supplement where they deemed that M&K owed us more money for their production. M&K is now appealing that with DOR, and they're going to the State Board of Equalization, fighting that.
Already 9 o'clock. Entertain somebody who would care to do a communication for the Weston County Commissioner regular meeting.
I would to ask for your guidance and direction at our commissioner meeting, and ask that we also heed your counsel from Psalm 24:1, the world and all the people belong to you. In Jesus' name.
Eric, would you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Vera, welcome folks. This is our August 25th Upton meeting. We try to do these quarterly down here. Appreciate the town giving us the opportunity to use this facility. So thank you for that. Sometimes I feel like we should bring you donuts instead of you providing us donuts.
As long as you give them at Joe's.
Yeah. So, before you have an agenda, I don't have any additions or changes off the top of my head. Does anybody have anything? Yes, ma'am.
I do. Treasurers gave me their reports last minute on Friday.
Well, should we do that under new business? 12:15. And we're gonna strike the commissioner, or, you got the public comment already, okay. Everybody okay with putting that there? Any issues,
Through the chair, I move to approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
Motion properly seconded to approve the agenda as amended. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Start off with public comment. Is there any public comment today?
Sure.
Yes, sir.
I didn't write up a Upton update.
Oh, that's
So
good.
this is the first time that you guys have been here that I haven't. But so I apologize for that. But brief update. We ended up losing one of our officers to a different employment opportunity. So we're looking for one more officer to be back at full strength. Finishing up our summer road projects. They punctured a gas line last night, but they got it taken care of right away up at the elementary school. That project will need to be over the winter, gravel, Birch Street will be, but otherwise things are finally progressing quickly with that one. Otherwise, it's just business as usual, I think. So.
I noticed I haven't seen the police moving near as much in the last week or so.
Yeah, our chief was on vacation last week,
Oh,
so we were down to one officer
yeah.
with our 3-person department while he was gone. So it was beyond the skeleton crew.
Yeah.
So hopefully, I mean, we have changed some policies with our police department to make it much more competitive employer than it was before. So hopefully Chief Meals is confident he can get somebody else quick. We have 2 individuals that are interested in the position that he's looking in on. I mean, we definitely want to get somebody that's already certified if possible, so they don't need to go off to the academy for a couple months or whatever. So we're confident we can get that filled pretty quick.
Very cool. Thanks, Nick. Sounds like a road and bridge problem.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Any other public comment? Okay, hearing none, let's move on to our minutes. Cruised these last night, Amber, I thought it looked great. I don't have any, it's just snow in there yet, so. I didn't really have any changes that I felt I wanted to make. Anybody else wants to, needs a minute to look them over? Or?
I'd make a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of August 4th, 2026 as presented.
Second.
Got a motion properly seconded to approve the August 4th regular unofficial minutes. Any discussion? Good job.
Thank you.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Questions for county clerk, district court, sheriff. Sheriff.
He's supposed to be. I told him we were here. I told everybody we were here.
Chairman Todd?
Yes, sir.
Just for the people that watch, every once in a while, things will come up, and I was just wondering, could you explain what these collections are?
What they are, they're marriage licenses, things like that. Clerks deal with different income generators that the county gets for the county clerk, and then the district court also has things people pay, make payments on court-ordered stuff typically, or they even probably have some other things that they make payments on at the district court. And then the sheriff, whatever some of his here.
These are on the sheriff's side of it. Hope Mead Law, Humphrey Law, Sundance Law, Outlaw, Gerstel Law, Prevast LLC, all of them totaling $565, so pretty civil process. There's actually one in here for $2.
And you guys approved the collection of these. What accounts do they go to? Do you know, if you can?
Treasurer, I assume she puts it into the general fund, the treasurer does. So, and the reason we approve these and see these sheets is because that holds your other offices credible that you've seen their collections, and then it can move on to the treasurer, so that, because potentially somebody could embezzle some funds somehow, you know, if there was opportunity to not put it on paper and show
Thank you.
it. I think it's probably happened in the past in places.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to accept the collections for county clerk in the amount of $11,502.05. Clerk of district court for $2,155.14, and the sheriff's office in the amount of $565.
Second.
Thank you. Motion properly seconded to approve the collections for clerk, county clerk, clerk of district court, and sheriff. And aforementioned amounts. Any discussion?
Amber was busy.
Yeah, she did have a good month.
Part of ours is I have been able to catch up on submitting our land records down to Black Knight. And so they're now catching up on the fees for that. I've learned how to do that.
Good job.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? All those in favor of the motion on the floor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. We're kind of gonna wait a bit, I think, because I'm guessing Ricky's gonna show up. But I think we could start a little discussion on that. She reached out to me. We, I think, are supposed to fill out the application. And right now, she doesn't have a lot of things. Ricky doesn't, I don't think. I mean, there's a little bit, their one biggest concern, I think, is just the sound up there and being able to hear things going on outside the courtroom when there's cases involving minors. But in discussing it with her, we talked about maybe taking a shot at that courthouse generator. And what's the other one?
Were we gonna try to do a generator?
That in the door downstairs.
Elevator door.
I think there could be an argument that is part of the courthouse security. Yeah, but until Ricky gets here, I don't know.
Mr. Chair, we could mount the generator in the waiting room.
Yeah.
Cut down on the.
There
I
you go.
can't hear a thing in the courtroom at all.
So Ricky's looks like address alarm system. Gilbert's trying to get a grant for it, but it would be a good idea to apply anyways. I think if we don't use it, we don't need it. And then protective counter barriers. I don't know 100% what you want there. The CEO security system. And then the sound deal. But for the application, one original application including all attachments, a detailed project cost estimate, including a breakdown of security expenditures broken out by A, B, or C categories outlined in the National Center for State Court Assessment, and an estimated project schedule that includes design, commencement of construction, and completion of construction. Which would be difficult to do that part. Design, other than we have gone through the labor or the work of getting quotes and people kind of tell us when they want to be able to do stuff. But you don't want on this in my handwriting. I don't know. somebody probably has a better handwriting in here than me. Unless we can figure out how to print this, can this be done on a computer somehow? I can do an old typewriter, so you know.
What was the county match? Was it the 10, do you remember?
I didn't think there was any county match to it, was there?
I thought it was a 10%.
They set aside those funds down at the state. Maybe it was 10, I don't know.
Now I can't
Where did you
remember.
write down? If you want, you can take a little time to fill out some of it afterwards,
Okay,
or
yeah.
even when you get back to, we can do it over the phone, whatever. I don't see any reason to fill it all, if we can just get some of the decisions made today,
Right.
what we want to apply for, and then, it does have to be sent in though by the end of the month.
Wyoming is a place of unlimited potential, a place that inspires us to dream. Since 2014, Wyo Lotto has given back to our great state through transfers, winnings, commissions, and more. Dollars that have gone directly into your cities, towns, and counties. Dollars that have changed lives and set dreams in motion. Thank you, Wyoming. We can't wait to dream up what's next.
So, section 325, this is this Wyoming legislature appropriated monies for court security improvements. There's appropriated $3,284,000 from the general fund of the Supreme Court to be matched by a total of $364,980 of local cash matching funds to provide funding for court security improvements. So that's not 10%. Funds shall only be expended upon recommendation by the Wyoming Court Security Commission for direct purchase by the state or grants to counties for security equipment within courthouses or the construction or modification of facilities containing a state court. So if Gilbert can get a grant for that, we could apply for our 10% of that grant, potentially.
Mhm. So we're looking at, are we putting both the courthouse and the library generator on there?
No,
Just the
we're gonna
courthouse?
scratch and if they got a piece of whiteout paper here up here.
I can white out it.
Okay.
So the 100 kilowatt, is that what we're going?
Yeah,
with?
it'd be the top one there, I believe. Yep, Weston County Courthouse.
So then I probably have to add all that, because they're just talking
What's the
about the
total?
item
Divided,
purchase.
how much divided by 2 was the total?
Well, just all of this.
Yeah, they doubled.
Oh, they doubled it. Oh, okay.
Be 83,000, $83,500. So, I don't know, I don't suppose Gilbert's coming up here, is he?
There she is.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
So what do we have for the door? Do we have that?
You're
If not,
front and
I'll-
center already.
Yeah.
You're front and center already.
Already? Well, perfect.
Right. I had it here somewhere, I thought. It was back. Oh, the left-handed.
That's got here before the rest stays out.
I did, you guys can look at this, I did
Here it is.
fill it out.
Yeah.
I say, I started filling it out a little. You guys can look at it.
Oh, okay.
Because
He didn't want his handwriting on it.
I did it in the Word document.
Oh, that's
Oh,
what we were
perfect.
wondering.
Yeah.
That's much better. Hey, that's much better.
Take a look at it.
So, quick question, Amber brought up something about percent of the county match, would that be in the event that we get a grant from?
Grant this, yes.
So, one thing we're gonna need to find out, Gilbert, I told him to go ahead and try to pursue a grant for the generator. So we just need to find out what that percent might be from Gilbert of the county match.
Okay, because I did include that in this application, the generator.
So, my thought was either we ask for it and we go try for the grant. If the court system won't give it to us, maybe we can luck out and get the grant.
Okay.
Either way, I don't know if there's a way to express that through the application. Because,
I think, yeah, we could. The only thing is they might not give it to us knowing we're trying to get a grant from home. They're gonna say, okay, you guys, you know what I mean?
and if it's a 10%, we'd miss out on potentially $8,500 that they might pay for if we said we're going for a grant. I mean, I'd rather have it all paid for by the state if we could, but. Well, we could leave it off then, I don't care if we leave it off. If we get the grant, it's 10%, I think that's a smart
Because I know
investment to make.
Gilbert is also working, I've been working with him, he's getting a grant for the alert system as well.
Okay,
I didn't know that.
so do you have a copy of the doors?
Yep,
Okay,
I do have a copy of the door. I have copies of all the quotes that are listed in the application.
so you're just missing the stuff for the, court barrier thing that you were hoping to get, huh?
So what?
The court barrier, the protective counter barrier.
Yeah, and I
sorry.
called every person knowing to do them, and I can't get a call back.
Okay. What do you think, can you give me an idea, or us an idea, what do you mean by protective court counter?
So kind of like what the downstairs did during COVID, just having something that's bulletproof there, just in case.
Okay.
And I reached out to other courthouses. I did Campbell, Crook, and got phone numbers for who did theirs, and I called them all, and I got a phone call back.
Okay, I guess leave it off for now.
Yeah, and then the other major thing, which I didn't include in here, is the sound. That's not something, we could include it in the application, but since it wasn't assessed in our assessment, it's not a possibility they would cover it. But, once I get that quote, I'd like to get on the agenda. Whenever I get that quote, we'll discuss that.
Okay. Is there other things that you would need from us, or our guidance or approval, or, I mean, I'm okay with everything that I see on there.
That's great. See, I'm not.
You just need our blessing basically to submit it, right?
Submit it to, the only other thing I did want, I don't know how you guys wanted to proceed, is on that first page.
So this, right?
Yes, is the project director. I don't know who that would be.
I think you could, I would put,
Because obviously, Nate, your information would go on that first paragraph. And then the project director, and then I would assume the financial director would be, Amber. I don't know who the project director would be though.
would one of the other commissioners consider it being late listed there as a second contact, I guess, maybe? I don't know who else to put, to be honest with you, short of our maintenance
Yeah.
gentleman.
I was thinking Steve.
Yeah.
Right, but will he be there for the whole meeting? Or we could put,
I mean, I think we just need to close in there.
And the phone number could be the courthouse phone, but I mean, the clerk's office.
right, up there.
Probably. let's, I'm okay with that, you guys want to put Steve down, if it ends up being a different gentleman in the near future.
We would have.
Give him a heads up,
Input.
yeah.
Yeah, because we should know if we're getting the grant or not by September, or end of September is what they're saying, so.
Okay. Yeah, let's
Just
do
put
that.
Steve's information right here, the project director.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His title would be maintenance. Courthouse maintenance.
I was trying to figure that out. I put supervisor in the minutes because I know we didn't like manager.
Yeah, I don't know how his official title would necessarily be. Yeah. Maintenance supervisor works for me.
And then Nate, you'll just have to sign that back,
Okay.
page 7. But I hope you want me,
Steve, can I sign 887 for you and then you can still fill out the,
yeah, could you just do that and then I could just attach that?
you know,
And then what I'll probably do is maybe give it to Amber's office to mail it off. Right?
Sounds good.
Okay.
yeah, perfect. Yeah. Yeah.
I would make a motion to authorize the chairman's signature on the application for courthouse security funds in the amount of $99,892.21, broken down into the elevator door entrance would be $16,392.21. Generator for the courthouse would be $83,500.00.
Second.
Motion properly seconded for the chairman's signature on the application for court security funds with the aforementioned amounts. So totaling $99,892.21. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
The generator is mounted or mentioned in this also. My question is it seems like everything needs a backup generator. We need one for the courthouse, the library, we've got one for the sheriff's department. My question is we've got that area behind the, behind the sheriff's department right now that's like chain link, and that's where that generator's at. I don't know what power's coming in on the other ones. Is it possible that we could have one monster generator that would just take care of all three? I'm just looking at 83,500. Our other one for the sheriff's department isn't that old. It probably has retained some value as far as trading something or other. Instead of just everybody having, generators they cycle to make sure that the oil stays lubricated, and they're decently problematic long term. And it would almost be, I don't even know if it's an option, but to me, I know that there's generators out there large enough to accompany the 3 buildings, and they're all kind of triangular attached in the center, and magically that's where that generator is already at, rather than having individual generators placed, amongst the yard or somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's something that I'm assuming that would be, if we got 83 here, 83 there, there's 165, 170 on top of whatever we got. Sheriff's Department, I didn't know
Yeah, it's becoming a generator graveyard out back. I hear you, I know.
I like your thought on that. I think the problem would be is every building has its own light meter. So basically it'd all have to be on one meter, and that generator would feed that one meter. The way it is now, each one's broke down separate, so they're metered separately.
Maybe that was a good issue too.
I know that was one of the thoughts we talked about, was like one generator for the courthouse and one for the library. Is they're on separate meters. The installation, we'd have to go in and just totally revamp everything. Or a small one for like just a portion of the building, you'd have to go and break that portion of the building out for that generator. So, on a separate meter.
Also on that, I did have a quote that included the library generator, but I don't think this grant will cover that because it's not the courthouse.
Yeah, Amber and I were discussing, I wonder if we could white out the library part
I
of that.
I got a new quote.
Okay, cool.
And also, if I could, on the door, I have 16,000. You guys have a different quote than what I have?
I think it was.
And I got this from Steve.
This is what you had on the.
16,392.
Yeah, did it say 18 though?
Oh,
Did I,
16.
huh?
It's 16.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Okay. And then one other thing is I did include, it's not on that front page, is the county attorney's security. And that, I don't know if you guys wanted to include that as well. It's on page,
The second to last or whatever.
yeah, because that wasn't assessed when we did our report stuff.
Do you think they'll, because we're separated the way they are, do you think they will consider that as a separate?
Yeah, I did talk to Claire about that, and she wasn't sure why it wasn't assessed in the first place.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because that's where our county attorney is. So I don't know if you guys, I did include it on the application, so that we just bumped that grant funds requested a little higher.
Just every town hall we hear about that any of these candidates are having, we're getting Walter to in Weston County. So I think, and then I like that citizens are asking the questions or candidates are debating each other rather than having us play any role in it. So that, I just think this election is more suited to Walter's type of journalism of just pointing a camera at people and saying, talk, and getting their mannerisms. I'd rather do that than have us writing stories about the candidacies.
That's what I was going to say is to me, those videos are more beneficial than any story that we could write covering a candidate for them.
Yeah, they rise or fall based on their own activity and mannerisms and what do they say, how do they vote, and I really think that is far more beneficial than us just giving our opinion.
And that's that, fixing the door system mainly, right?
Yeah, security, so it's long and whatnot. And I have a quote from, Dan handed me a quote too, I don't know if he's on the agenda today, but I also have that quote.
Okay. I don't have any issue with it if Claire thinks it's appropriate.
Mm-hmm. And like I said, this is another one where it wasn't assessed, but we can still apply for it.
So what's that now?
The quote I got from Dan was $6,769.06.
Right, yeah, motion to add that to it. But we still have a motion on the floor at the moment, but we amend the motion.
How about if you just rescind it?
Okay.
I would rescind my motion for the application for courthouse security funds. That's good with the second. I would make a motion that we authorize chairman's signature on the application for courthouse security funds in the amount of $106,661.27. Break that down into intercom for the annex in the amount of $6,769.06. Elevator entrance door in the amount of $16,392.21. And the courthouse generator in the amount of $83,500.00.
Second.
We have a motion properly seconded to approve the application for court security funds in the total amount of $106,661.27. Discussion. We discussed it to death already. All right. All those in favor of the chairman's signature on this application for the court security funds, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? You want that signed copy?
Yes, please. And I can get this done today.
Thanks for coming down, Rick.
You bet. Thank you, guys.
And appreciate all that. I know you put extra work into this. So.
You bet. Thank you, guys.
Need anything, holler.
Okay. Have a good day.
Too. Just like that, we're back on track. Fields, you're up.
So, actually, off that with the intercom portion of the county attorneys. So that June 2nd meeting when we got that, when you guys approved the 9,000, that company lost their license to work in Wyoming. They've been trying to get that reestablished. They have not contacted us back. So we had to shift gears and try and go with somewhere else and look at that. With that, I was able to contact Golden West. They came in with it's close to the same system, but not exactly because they don't have the same equipment. And that came in at $66,796.06 for pretty much close to the same thing. On that June 2nd one, we authorized for no more than $9,000. So I don't know if I have a copy. I don't know if you guys see these or not.
No. 66,796.
Yes.
And what was the name of the other company?
I can't remember the name of it. Yeah.
They had figured 9.
Yeah. Yeah.
What, two different worlds are we living in here?
Well, the second,
You should have.
Oh, I do. Okay.
well, that's a different one.
Oh, it's different.
That's
Send
the
me the email.
switch.
This is
Oh.
the annex.
This is the annex.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. I didn't
Well,
realize I can't do it.
I guess.
The difference is also because we also, as a county, pay for a partial portion of the controller software portion of it, so we don't have to add that again to it. So I don't know why it wasn't included to start with on that portion of it. So after discussion with them, that's what they came up with. So.
So is this some of this confidential, like, or not necessarily? No, not really.
Probably not, it's just the equipment that is what they're looking at putting in there, so.
All right. That's gonna take some chewing. I have a feeling that you're gonna load up a lot of money.
What's that?
That's a heck of a lot of money.
The 6,700? Less than the 9,000 that you guys
Mr. Chair.
You said 6,700 or 66,000?
6,700.
Oh.
I had to-
6, 7, 9.
Okay. 67, 69, oh, 6.
Sorry, I may have messed that one up, I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's-
That's why I was so confused. 66 to 9. I mean, what's
And
going
the
on
6
here?
cents, right, and it's got 6 cents on it.
Yeah, you know.
I did too, and whatever. Who knows? That might be here. Weird thing. Okay.
I didn't think that was that bad because it's actually saving us some money. So I just
Really confused.
Yeah.
was wondering if we could go ahead with that portion of it.
We gave you approval for 9. I don't know why.
Well, it's a change of a company.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to bring it.
Did we, in the motion, do you recall, did we authorize working with the company or just authorizing the 9,000?
I am unsure. I know it's no more than 9,000.
It was not to exceed 9,000.
Yeah.
Because at the time, I think he was working with 2 different companies in.
So I know that we had that one down, so.
It might not be a bad idea.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the intercom access control addition through Golden West not to exceed $9,000.
Second. What's that?
We already got a motion, we already approved it, not to exceed 9,000.
Do we want to go back and see if
I don't know if we need to even address it, because we already authorized him not to do it, not to exceed 9,000.
The
I
problem,
just didn't want to change companies without.
that's the only thing I didn't know. Did we list the company's name in the original motion? If we didn't, then we're probably fine.
And
You could make a motion approving Golden West
Yeah.
to perform the work for the,
And that's what Garrett already.
I'll retract that. Mr. Chair, I move to consider Golden West as the company for our intercom, means the other one is no longer licensed in Wyoming.
motion properly seconded to move forward with Golden West with the annex issue. Any other discussion on that? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thanks, Dan.
And then I have the other portion.
Then if the court has security grant, when that comes through, we just reimburse ourselves back. Is that a reimbursement grant?
So with that, yes, they did decide that,
It is a reimbursement.
yeah,
grant?
if we apply for it and we do get that money, we can reimburse it back.
Okay. That works then, thank you.
Well, I read so now we're on to this other issue at the sheriff's department. I read the email last night. I have some issues with it, I guess, Dan. Personally, I don't know how the rest of the board feels, but I guess I'm a little upset that I don't think that, and maybe I missed something, but I don't recall ever knowing that any of this stuff was going on for the firewall or the switch, or even planning on moving the server over there. So that's where I think my hiccup is with this money this work's already been done.
The switch, yep,
And the
that's in there. That's big, that was, I pretty much put on a loan to us. I did not realize that until.
And what does the switch do?
It is,
Go from generator or to
no, this,
server to not
it's your
generator?
network connection for all your Ethernet cables in your network to direct your traffic. And we needed one for the camera system that we put in, but we're working on that server grant too at that time, so they put the switch in and that in because we were, it was during that time when we had the two grants were all backed up and messed up, but we had these two going on, and so since we had that one going, they waited, they put that in to install to save the money. So we didn't have to increase that on the camera portion of it, and then we ran.
So I'm kind of illiterate when it comes to this switch. It's not a light switch. It says it's something done via computer system in the programming of whatever's in the.
It's a piece of hardware. So
So if
you're a
you're
little bit more familiar with your like home network and router and stuff, where you have that and you have the little ports in it that put like the phone cable looking thing in it. That's what it is, but it holds. It can hold up to like 80 different ports or more. I'm not sure exactly how many.
So if we have this one here that we've already got, can it be moved to the camera system?
The camera system is currently plugged into it because we were out of space in there.
So the camera system is plugged in.
The camera system's currently.
So we needed a switch, no matter what, is what you're telling me.
We need to pay for the switch.
Okay.
They lent us the switch with us anticipation on that server grant that because they built that grant too in there, so they, instead of paying for it out of those funds, they were trying to help us save money by putting it into a grant that would have been would have been covered, that 100% portion of it.
You know, this whole email, it caused me a lot of heartburn too. I mean, we're having equipment installed that we don't know about, that's on loan to us that we don't know about, that we might get the grant for, that we might not.
Well, I believe we had the grant at that point.
Well, on the same token, that we got going back, turning 21,000 back to the state now. Would this almost 7,000 be covered in that 21,000?
Yes.
So now we're turning money back. If we'd have known that this equipment was on loan to us, we're gonna have to pay for 3 weeks ago, we could have put in to get this out of that 21,000. Now we've got 21,000 going back. The time frame, we're running out of time to get this done. It's lack of communication between what's going on between your department and Gilbert coming to us. There is a very wide disconnect.
We did not. It's been almost 2 years since they did this. So I forgot about it. Everybody didn't realize it was there until I got contacted by Old West.
So the firewall, what can you tell me about the firewall?
The firewall is your
security
blanket
for a server.
For access into the network, for outside access in. So it prevents.
So Golden West came there and did X amount of work to create this firewall already.
They established this, put this system in there, yes.
Yeah, you guys should come to us to let us know that stuff is going on. I'm 100% okay with the switch, and the firewall, we might just have to try to figure out where it can come out of your budget for now.
Okay.
I don't know what the rest of the work is on.
I apologize. I didn't realize this. I mean,
I guess at the end of the year, we can have this discussion if we start getting short on funds, and if you can't find it, try to figure it out, I guess.
I was gonna say, currently we do, but I have a feeling that we're probably gonna be short in our equipment or even other.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
Were we initially anticipating the $355 monthly prior?
I never caught anyone of that I recall.
So there's two things on that. There's one that you can buy the equipment straight out, and then there's that monthly cost. I would recommend just probably purchasing equipment straight out, because after your first year, you're spending more on that.
Is that on the switch side or is that the fire?
That is the firewall.
That's the fire.
Chair, firewall monitoring and managing is $200 a month, and that must be the brand. XGS 128 firewall monthly, $155.
Have they been charging you monthly to this point on that? Or?
No, those are your options of if you want them to, basically you lease it from them, and then they will upgrade it throughout the time and manage it. Or you can pay it outright for the $3,900 right now.
So the firewall, is that just the labor that Golden West did?
The labor is the installation is $720.
So where's the 4,000 figure coming
Flip over.
On the very back page. So, we've had this equipment installed for 2 years.
Yes. So right there.
from? So that's what they installed.
So this is one of the pieces of equipment, yeah. So you can either pay a monthly fee of $350, or you can just pay it outright and buy it
For $3,900.
for the $3,900.
Any chance they want it back? I mean, it hasn't been being used.
I don't know, because generally that equipment doesn't hold value after.
It hasn't been, is it doing something currently?
It is. It's the block from outside access in without through the permissions portion of it.
This has been installed for a couple of years now. Have we been paying this monthly service charge for it? So
Those are your options of either paying it out or not. So.
we begin the service we haven't been paying for, in other words.
Huh? Well, no, because you could either buy the firewall, the piece of equipment, and that's it for $3,900, or you can pay your monthly cost for that.
But the previous 24 months, it's been installed and working for us.
Yes.
And we haven't paid for any of the monthly charges or nothing.
No, because that was just, it's on that bid, it's the portion of it, these are your options of what you can do. So it's just like when you're buying some or getting equipment from certain service providers, they try and get you in the monthly fee.
I understand that, but we've been receiving the service
Yes, we have.
on the premise that we're going to get this other grant put in, get the other server. What I'm trying to say, there's,
Mr. Chair,
I'm confused.
if we do nothing, what happens?
They take their equipment back.
Okay, so that,
And then we'll have to figure something else.
Okay,
We'll have to buy.
so how did
something.
the question was, what Ed was getting to is how have we gotten by with 2 years with them not taking their equipment back thus far?
Because of that grant, that what we were waiting on for that was supposed to pay for that portion of it. So that was in that.
So somebody had a conversation with Golden West and says, hey, we're working on a grant.
Yeah, they put the grant, they put the bid together for that server and that cybersecurity portion back when this was going on.
So Garrett hit on something there with, if we just do nothing and they take the equipment back, are they gonna charge us for 2 years worth of use of it?
I have no idea.
So, and then thirdly, if they take that firewall, whatever, back, does that then put the sheriff's department in any danger?
Yes.
So you need a fire.
We'll be dead in what we can't. We would not be able to operate.
All right. Yeah, it's really unfortunate. And I understand you forgot, but has Gilbert already kicked that grant back?
Yeah, no, the state already, yeah.
I know we denied it when I didn't know if he contacted anybody that or.
Well, yeah, that was the last one was
That's on
the end of the.
summer, yeah.
That's on the agenda, just sign
What if we don't? We how to change the parts?
I don't know if that money is available for anything in that portion of it.
At least like the 7,000 of it.
Yeah. Can you find out and then we can scratch that potentially, that signature today, and we are meeting in a week. And can we apply for that $7,000 potentially for that grant?
I can talk to Gilbert and try and find that out.
I doubt that Old West is gonna get pissed if we wait another week. I know it's been 2 years.
I don't think so. We just kind of gotta do something else. Unfortunate.
Well, it appears you need this stuff, so.
And like discussed in that last portion with the, we're working on a worksheet thing, portion of it to get, so we have the scope and what everything's involved, so then we can start to look at all that. So this doesn't happen for
What day are we?
not only us, but others.
So we're meeting in 7 days.
Okay.
Get old Gilbert.
I'll
Try to run it down. Is the board okay with that?
I'd be in favor of tabling this till next week when we have, if we can get the $6,900 out of that grant, then we'll make that decision when we get out of that grant or what we decide to do
Okay.
then.
Okay.
Thanks, Dan.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I do have one quick thing that Jason dumped on me. The furnaces in that jail, we talked about that. Were we okay to replace that?
Yeah, we set up money aside for.
Okay, so we just want to make sure before,
Yeah.
I don't want to have,
Yeah, just, I mean,
I do have a.
give us an update on what it may be gonna cost. It'd be good to know that. You have something. Is it kind of what you guys had initially thought?
Yeah. It's a little less, I think $50 less than the last one we purchased.
Very good. Yeah, you guys, we approved it in the budget.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyone else wants- Okay.
Thanks, Dan.
Okay, yeah. Did you? Thank you.
Chairman's signature on employee training and reimbursement grant. So that, June, right?
Jimmy.
I'm not gonna be able to hear you way back there, Jim. So this needs the chairman's signature, just saying that Mr. Leonard got his CDL work done and
He doesn't have it completed, that's just an agreement right into the class.
okay,
And then he has to maintain 3 years of employment with us, or he has to reimburse us.
Reimburses.
Yeah.
that's, was it $6,000, right?
I think it's 5.
But,
Depends what school you go through.
yeah. Mr. Leonard's Game to give it a go?
Yep.
Anything else we need to know on it?
I don't think so. You got a trial run on that, so.
I'd make a motion to authorize chairman's signature on the employee training reimbursement agreement between the county and John Leonard.
Second.
You guys got a motion properly seconded for the chairman's signature on the employee training reimbursement. Any discussion? I hope this works. I think it's a good start to try to get more hands. So, and if we can get 3 years out of an individual, it'd be great. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So this just need, you want to do the dates and your signature on it, yeah? Okay, I signed it, so I'll give it back to you. And you got an update for us?
Yeah. In 2023, we had a wooden bridge removed from the Dewey Road. They replaced it with 3 runs of 7-foot pipe. And it was a county road fund project. It was designed and oversight by an engineer, and the work was done by a contractor. We had a storm come through a couple weeks ago, and it basically took the ends, so all 3 of those pipes out. They're still connected, but they're sitting like that. So what we've got is water is bypassing that in section of pipe and running through the other 2 sections and on out the other side. As long as it's going through the second pipe, relatively simple fix, hopefully. But I did reach out to our engineer, and him and I have a little different opinion on what we've got going on there. So I guess my question to you guys is, how do you want to proceed to fix this? If you want to have our engineer take a look at it and give an opinion on how to fix it.
There's a picture there if you want to see what he's kind of talking about. So the band basically kind of came loose.
The band is tight, but the bottom is pulling out of the band.
Bottom's coming out of the band. And Jim was thinking maybe we can excavate under that and get a larger band
I
potentially.
think the band should be wired. Say, Ken kind of has a little different opinion of what we've going on there. I think we're both probably right. I think there's several different things that probably need to happen there. But if water gets underneath, that second section or around it, then you're going to have to take those completely out and redo it. And that's a pretty good project.
The second section.
So I'll just proceed with this.
So it's probably an engineer design issue, is what you're thinking. Was that Bear Lodge?
Yeah, I worked Miller engineering on that.
So I guess I don't know how do we need to reach out to them and say,
Yes, we can. That will be very fruitful, but
Have you been notified of anything?
No.
And maybe a start would be say, hey, reach out to them and say, hey, this is, you engineered this project and this is what happened, and just maybe get a feel from them. They may have an idea or something too, but it's something we're gonna have to address. Another flood and take it all out.
they did get another pretty good rain down there Saturday night. Still, same thing.
so I guess that's the issue. Well, I don't know if it's something that Michael should be involved with or told what's going on with that too.
I guess I can take him the contract.
And say, hey, I know things fail, you can't plan for everything, but it does seem, how wide's the band that's on it right now?
It's a 4-rib band, which to me is too narrow, so you've only got 2 ribs at each pipe. So
Yeah.
in that band, that's not a lot. And then from the band out to the end of the pipe, there's no cover over it. I think we've got to have some cover over that. Kenny thinks it's more of a bank protection issue, maybe even some downstream issues. So I think we're both probably right.
Seems like a culvert that big, two ribs on each side of the bend,
That's not a lot.
it's not much.
No, it isn't.
Be interesting to see if there's a standard out there for a culvert of that size. You would think they would have followed that standard.
I'm surprised True North, usually they're pretty good. They'll look at what you're ordering and, if they think you're wrong, they'll make recommendations to change it. If I had enough guys, pretty simple, go down here, just dip those ends out and reband and get some cover and all in some rough gravel.
If you were just to guess, if you had a couple guys working on it, what do you think it'd take them?
Most of your time is gonna be hauling the riprap. We have to go, the stuff that's not danced together. I think that would be most of the time, and then the landowners will end up with a scatter some dirt. And as far as just taking them out and rebanding them, that's not that big of a deal. Just gotta be careful,
And, yeah. And those are those expensive, protective,
$152,000 to the pipe.
yeah.
Do you guys got time to do it? Your crew got time, an hour?
We can get it done. We're behind as always. We can start it all.
Well, I just think, if there's any legal recourse, maybe we could ask for reimbursement for your guys, for your crews doing it, if there's, legal recourse on it. Something it needs to be addressed pretty quick.
Yeah.
So,
I think it's something we want to let go, because the longer it goes, the worse it's gonna get.
yeah.
How far, do you think True North would be able to supply you with larger bands and a quick?
I would assume so. I can reach out to them.
And those culverts took a while to get, but what about, Timberline or somebody like that potentially helping you? What, if you say you're in a bind and you can't get enough guys there to do this, would it be cheaper to hire Timberline to help blade roads or come do this for you?
Well, they would probably get that down there a lot quicker.
Yeah.
200 an hour on a blade. Probably be more cost effective to have them do that.
Mr. Chairman, in your opinion, Jim, was it properly engineered the first round?
I think there's some issues there, but certainly not an engineer.
2 ribs does seem like very little support.
And, only 2 ribs on each pipe in there, I think you need to have some cover over that.
Yeah, I think too.
That's a lot of parts.
Holds that weight
on
down.
top of it.
How far behind are you on everything else? A million miles?
Not like usual.
How many more phone calls am I gonna get about rough county roads? You think a couple days you guys could do that? As far as getting them rebanded and then get somebody to start hauling rock or in a week? Fine.
I would think maybe 3 days. Maybe get those ends cut down, and maybe if everything goes right, in the time when we haul them, the riprap in, and having somebody sit down there and place it, with the whole.
I'm okay if you guys wanna try to tackle it and if we can keep track of the time and what the cost was to the county to get it fixed.
I'm on that same page, or if you reach out to Timberline, if them guys can get it quicker, or any of the good contractors that you use, if they can, in a time frame, have it done quicker, or I just put it back on you, that's your opinion, your You're the expert in the room on that, not me.
Well, maybe I can have some numbers and come back up there and it's still saying. It's still wet to do anything with it.
Yeah, reach out to whoever and see if they've got a timeline that they may be able to jump on and what they think the cost might be. That's too bad.
I was gonna have wage numbers for you guys and I don't have them right now. So I don't think this is all gonna happen for you next week.
Somebody's been busy, probably, I'm guessing, to help you with that.
I think we've pretty well got it situated on our end, so I'll get it done from it. Have something next week.
Very good.
And we're gonna do our dust spots demonstration tomorrow on the hall, right? See how that goes. If it does work, we get that permission from C9 people to start using that as our dust spots.
And they're doing half a mile.
Half a mile.
Good.
That'd be a good road to test it on.
Do you mill it in?
No, you spray it in with water, right?
Oh, okay.
Water, and spray it in water.
Similar to laying egg down, huh?
So I gotta leave it this afternoon.
Yeah.
Process.
And this stuff is non-corrosive, right?
Yep.
So that's
So we can run it through our water truck.
Yeah, find out it works and you could splash a little here and there in front of different people's places.
On the end of the class.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Yeah. Thank you, sir, for coming
Thanks.
down.
Thanks.
Yeah. Chairman's signature on MOU with DOI and the BLM regarding the Bridger pipeline expansion project. These are letters from Cook County.
That was the letter that was sent out, that's the MOU that has to be signed, but that was the letter that they put out. For the. Yes, that one's the Bridger pipeline.
Yeah, this is from the pipeline.
Yep.
Okay. So this is a letter with the Department of the Interior and the BLM regarding Bridger Pipeline Expansion Project and associated environmental impact statement. I sat through phone call meeting through some of this with Drew. And she saw no real issues with any of it.
Yeah. I visited with Drew a couple weeks ago about it. She was on board with it, you know, she had input on drafting it, so I put a lot of faith in her work for us.
And part of this too, it lets us become a cooperating agency in that we then have say in any of the issues that may come up, or any of the, we'll have some jurisdictional authority, I guess, basically, by becoming a cooperator. Yep.
I would make a motion to authorize the chairman's signature on MOU with Department of Interior and the BLM regarding the Bridger Pipeline Expansion Project.
Second. Properly seconded, chairman's signature on this MOU for the DOI and BLM regarding the Bridger Pipeline Expansion Project. Any discussion?
It is for the people are here, and that's for the proposed 36-inch pipeline that Bridger pipeline's gonna come down through Crook and Weston County. They're putting it, tying into the big hub down at Guernsey is where the pipeline will terminate at, and it'll start up in
Border
Canada. So basically it's the Keystone Pipeline avoiding the reservation in North Dakota in a short.
Any other discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Yeah, keep me in order. Okay, moving on to the FNRPA application. This is the Bear Lodge Rare Earth project. And again, this is another opportunity for Weston County to be a cooperator. And I had a long discussion with Drew over this a couple weekends ago. And in order to become a cooperator, it's going to cost us, I think, Weston County 0.01% of the total cost, so it'd be about $1,430 for Drew's work on this. Crook is taking the brunt share of that because that mine is sitting in Crook County, and a lot of this is I think it's Miller Hill Road is the route that they're trying to get off of the Bear Lodge with. So there's some upset people about trucks potentially using that road to come out of there, along with concerned people of where the mine sits. It's kind of a pristine area there. Weston County's involvement is more the facility out here on the hill and the processing side of things. So in visiting with Mr. Devish, or the chair of Cook County, they started at 80-20 share, and we moved down to a 90-10 share, which would, like I said, be about $1,430 for us to be cooperators and have involvement in that project as well. And the majority of the funding would come from the FNRPA funds that would pay for that. Crook and Weston would have to pick up the remaining 10%, which Crook would be picking up $12,870.
Chairman Todd, could you explain the benefits of this?
Yeah. So I'll just kind of give you it's a land use plan revision. It's Crook and Weston County have requested FNRPA funds and have been awarded the funding since 2022 to participate as cooperating agencies in the Black Hills National Forest land use plan revision process. And as cooperating agencies, the county's plan to use the funds for third-party consulting. So our share would be the work that Drew does to deal with like the BLM and the National Forest Service and those kind of things on the behalf of Weston County, so that if there are issues, we then have a seat at the table. Crook County agreed, or Fred agreed with me that our share probably wasn't near the concern that they had, but we may have settling ponds sitting out here someday that might have some nasty stuff in them. I don't know, to be honest with you. That could be wholly inaccurate. But
so down the road, this could change in percentages somewhat.
Possibly.
Okay.
But for now, it'll give us an opportunity to sit at that table and say, or Drew to sit at that table on our behalf and say, these are kind of some of the concerns we're hearing out of Weston County. This is what I'm hearing from Crook County. And we want a ability to have some say in how this project proceeds and what happens.
Thank you.
Good. So, do we need to sign anything?
No.
It's just a,
It's the letter that, Cook County County and their,
so we just need to approve our 1% of the 100% of the $1,430.
Right, sure. I think this is just a letter that they're, that Drew's going there to request FERPA funds from the state.
But we will have a share, 10%. And we need to, part of that was to acknowledge
Yeah.
that we're gonna take on our 1% of that 10.
When life gets tough, you don't have to face it alone. Call 988 for confidential, free support 24/7.
So I guess I loosely gave her the go-ahead. I said, I think we're probably okay, but that has to probably come before the board to let them know that if we're on board doing this with Crook County, we would do 1% of the 10%. That's letting Drew know that we would use her services on behalf of Weston County.
Motion that we would commit up to.
$1,430.
I'd make a motion that Weston County would commit $1,430 to match on the FERPA funds. It's actually going to be a 1% of the whole project for the Bear Lodge project in our county and the neighboring Cook County.
Second.
Motion probably seconded to match, or to, sorry, I just did that.
1%.
Commit 1%, an amount of $1,430 to become a cooperator in the Bear Lodge project.
Regarding FERPA funds.
Regarding funds. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair?
Yes, sir.
How much of a say as a cooperating paying agency do we get for 1%?
I think everybody did as much as probably Crook County did. The reason that we went to the 1% instead of splitting it, I felt like Crook County, and Drew did too, and Fred, when we talked, that they're by far the majority of the environmental concerns are probably going to land in Crook County. But they were grateful. They were going to do it anyways without us.
Yeah.
But that 1% at least gives us a seat at the table. Yep. Any other discussion? We need to know where to pull that from. How do we usually pay Drew? I guess we can figure it out.
Yeah.
If this gets approved, then when we start to see the bill. Right. Any other discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you. So we're going to table the 1025. Susie, you want to get back to Newcastle? Start early.
I just need your signature on my abstract so I can publish it in the paper. And then the investment policy I'm passing out. I got some inquiries on what the county's investment policy was, and so I thought, well, we need to review it. It hasn't been updated since 1999. So I don't know if we need to update.
Okay.
And on this front sheet, I do have the percentages of what I've got, percentages of what they're invested in the current. Did I give you one, Amber?
So let's do the abstract first.
Yeah, I just put your signature on that. That's just telling you how much money we received in and
Yeah. So this is the PILT money, all that stuff, Minka
Yeah.
Jones. PILT is the payment in lieu of taxes. So people are aware of that. Registration. Yep. On the total taxes where it's 15 and 13 in the county portion, so when you go to like the penalties and interest, the 26 total collected, but the county portion is 42.7. Why does that happen?
Because the entities receive property tax and the tax interest.
Oh,
They get dispersed to entities.
okay. This is report year 2026, so this is
last year.
last
25,
year's.
26.
It technically
25.
died in
Yep.
June, okay. So when I go to the second to last page where it says county warrants paid, where does that land on our, when we do our budget, our 2026, our last year's budget? That the funds that we don't expend above whatever we budget for, they keep rolling. How does that work?
Just reset, the budget just resets. County warrants is just the vouchers that you paid.
Mm-hmm. So we paid $8 million, a little over $8 million county warrants. But that's because the money isn't, it's kind of fictional that it's actually there. You're assuming that that money's going to be there as the year rolls along. It's never really a fixed amount. It's,
On the warrants?
no, when we do our budget process, we assume that
You
that money's
guys
going
are,
to come in.
you guys are fake money, I'm real money.
Yeah. So weird.
That's how it was explained to me.
Yeah.
Way
We're trying
back.
to anticipate, when we do the budget, we're trying to anticipate the money we're gonna come in.
Yep, you're
You have to
guessing,
deal
you're
with
guessing
money.
and I'm guessing, basically.
You deal with the money that actually comes in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Say PILT comes, they say they're gonna give us $10 million. Well, we really only get 5, so.
Do you just need the chairman on this?
Yep, I
Susie,
do the
or
chairman, and then Amber's, and then I have to sign it, and
And
it's
just anywhere.
sign it down?
probably on the back, yeah.
And this gets recorded in the books for permanent record.
It is permanent record, yes, and it has to be advertised, so that's what I'm gonna do with it after you guys sign it, take it over, release and advertise it.
I would make a motion to approve the chairman's signature on the treasurer's abstract.
Second.
Motion properly seconded for the chairman's signature on treasurer's abstract. Any discussion?
Aye.
Opposed? So I've had some interesting conversations over this thing, Susie.
Yeah.
So, investment strategy, the most important thing in the world is safety. Second is it liquid or can it be made liquid
Real fast.
quickly?
Yeah.
And third and foremost is what are you getting in interest from? And in ways I feel like you have been following that path. Like I think that you've done a good job.
Thank you.
Because I do believe that they are in safe places. I think there could be an opportunity to maybe take some of that investment money and gamble a little more, maybe. I have concerns with that too, though. And I think that's a long discussion that we probably should have. I haven't had a chance to look at the investment policy statement, but I would.
Yeah, I just want you to kind of review it this week. I'm just letting you know the interest rates where I'm setting out right now. I did call Mike Morrison and ask him if he could match any of these higher rates. Because in WIO class at the last time I talked to Troy, it was 3.69. So I asked Mike, he said, well, I can't match 8%. I said, I wasn't asking that. So then he wants to meet with you guys next week. So we're scheduled for next week to meet with him, for him to explain what investing locally is actually helping with the community. So you gotta take that into consideration also. But I was approached by a former commissioner that the investment policy needed to be reviewed, and which I'm sure it probably does since it's 1999, but there's no signatures on it, which
Well,
I
I'm sure.
think that should be too, but it just needs to be reviewed, and then we can make another discussion next week when Mike comes.
It says that in this investment policy, safety, liquidity, and return on investment. So I assume whoever put this together is of the same mindset.
Oh, yeah,
I think we
and
would
it
be today.
has to follow the statutes too,
Yeah.
so.
But yeah, I think it'd be good to take home and digest a little bit on it. And it'd be interesting. I know Upton uses Troy, right? Nick, is that correct? Upton uses Troy?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think they've had good success with it, right? Yeah.
And I've got 200,000 in with him right now, so.
Okay.
And the two that are getting that 0.35 are actually checking accounts. That's more, I feel that's more liquid than the two money markets I've got, because if Road and Bridge needs anything like tomorrow, I can just use that $993,000 there and just use that instead of tapping into their money market.
So the road, so do you, all the interest in that road construction one, do you move it back into like the money market one so that we know that it's staying with the road?
The road money market gets all of its own interest, and then the road construction up above gets its interest.
Okay.
Which they both basically are the road construction, but like I said, the upper one is just more of an emergency one, yeah. And that's where I transfer every month. When we get the county road funds from the state, they come into the general fund, which is the First Northern Bank. They automatically get it deposited into there. Well, at that point in time, I have to take it out of that account and kick it down into the road construction, because That's not the general fund's money, it's the road construction's money.
Yeah, statutory, it has to be used for that.
Yeah, but it has to be moved down into the road account. And then when that gets high enough, then I'll dump it down into the money market.
Keeping $1 million in the one checking account, I mean, is there times when,
That gets pretty low, sometimes we'll get down to 400,000, depending on the flow of the taxes coming in and the taxes being paid out to the entities but I sometimes I think I can get rid of it, and then the next time I look at what's supposed to be going on, it's like,
get nervous?
yep,
How liquid is the money market?
I can just call them and, just like a checking account, basically.
So if you maybe knew within a week you were kind of getting short, you might be able to
Transfer some up, yep.
So we
Or-
maybe could do a little less than that then, and that checking and figure some kind of path. And maybe that would be part of the plan of, that we work with is how do we make stuff liquid, or how do we want Susie to make stuff liquid?
Yeah, and right now I feel it's pretty liquid other than the CD I've got up here the first year. Well, and Troy's too. I can get it overnight, but it's like 24 hours before I can get a hold of that $200,000 or a portion of it. Now I can just call First Northern Bank and say, hey, I need to do a transfer. Or they've got it set up where I can just do it on the banking app. I can just transfer from one to another. Say like the road construction needs $350,000, I can transfer it up into the normal checking account and the warrant can be issued for it.
I think it'd be good to do some looking into it, and if anybody has any thoughts on it, probably gonna need a 20 or 30 minute time slot maybe next meeting if there's that much.
Yeah, I could. And then the person that approached me with this, he was thinking that we could take like on the budget, we have the financial admin. There was 3 accounts he was talking about, the financial admin, the road, and something else. He was wanting to put that in higher investing areas. But I said, well, how do you know that's not already invested in these money markets? And you can't just pull a line item off of a budget
It's
and
fake
say,
money.
I want this much money over here when it's already invested here.
Well, like you stated earlier, fake money versus real money, it's
Yeah.
hard to do that. Yeah. I mean, and that's what people got to wrap their head around. Just because it says it's here doesn't mean it's here.
Exactly.
So,
That's how much you hope you can spend.
yeah. Okay. Well, should be a good conversation. Be nice to visit with Troy about what he thinks would be some good options for us too.
You want me to bring Troy in next Tuesday too, if I can? I've got Mike coming
next
in.
Tuesday. Yeah.
She already has Mike Morrison coming in too, so.
I already got him scheduled, so.
If Troy could come.
Okay. You don't know what time yet though, right? Okay. I'll see if he's available and.
That evening. Or the 2 weeks later, the next
Yeah.
meeting.
Do whatever.
Even 2 weeks later, it's next meeting, if Troy's not available next week.
Yeah.
From what, we were making 3.4 on some of this, I know some of Troy's is only like 3.6, 3.8.
Yeah, so it's not that difference and it's keeping it local and. Yeah, she'd make 2% more, but then it's a longer period of grabbing that money. It is liquid, but after, 24 hours, I would have it.
See now, With the waste district, we can get it the next day.
So that would be 24 hours, depending on what time you ask.
Yeah, if we put it in today, it'll be in our account.
Yeah. And then there is a WildStar 1, 2, and 3 out there. That was also mentioned to me, and the WildStar 1 has a limit of you could only add or withdraw once a month. You have to give them a week's notice to get, before you get that money. And that's a minimum of $1,000, I think, and then WildStar 2 has restrictions on it, and it's a minimum of $25,000. And then WildStar 3, we have to have 5 million to start that one.
I've heard mixed reviews on those.
What's that?
I've heard mixed reviews on those.
Yeah, and at one point in time, they weren't doing all that well, and there was a lot of issues, and there's other areas out there that do better than them. But I was just throwing that out there, so that's where that one person wanted to look into investing in.
Yeah, the WildStar ones, when those accounts first come out, they were.
Oh yeah,
they were really good, kicking butt.
They
but
were.
now they just kind of fell on their heels, and
Yep, they kind of.
I think WildStar prompted the other people to get more aggressive.
Yeah.
It's a good way to put it.
Yeah, and then they have a Wyoming Government Investing Fund. Joan Evans is the head of that, and that's another one that's out there. I haven't really pursued it much, but.
Anybody got anything else for Susie on this, or do you want to digest this thing?
Hope you digest it.
Yeah, that's, yeah, I just wanted to review it before we get Mike in here and maybe Troy and wrestle around some ideas and see what happens. And then you guys can maybe tell me, yes, keep doing what you're doing, or no, I want you to do it this way.
Yeah, I'd say, what it appears to me is the investment policy statement is probably pretty good. It's just the lack of eyes on it for 20,
Yeah, for so many
30 years.
Yeah.
Is probably the lack of doing that isn't great. But, and just as maybe every year we set a date that you just
Look at it again. or
yeah,
something.
look at the investments and try to ensure you're on the right path, or if there's something somebody else sees, maybe that would be beneficial.
Yeah, and I do have stuff out of the Pinnacle Bank also, so.
Okay, yeah, I saw that. All right, thanks, Susie.
Yep.
Thank you.
What's our next one? We're on for a while now.
See that.
Yep, you do them.
M&K, is that what it is?
So M&K and escrow is kind of one and the same issue. So in July, you guys signed some NODCs, notice of valuation change for M&K. Upon reading it, they are actually appealing a finding from the Department of Audit. So I've called the Department of Revenue and talked to Ken and Matt Sachet with the Mineral Division. And I guess the Department of Audit did an audit review on M&K's production and found discrepancies. And they turned it over to DOR, and there was the supplement where they deemed that M&K owed us more money for their production. M&K is now appealing that with DOR, and they're going to the State Board of Equalization, fighting that. So what happens is they did pay the supplement to us, but according to statute, it sounds like I have to hold those funds in an escrow account, an interest bearing, and pending the outcome of the court case. Nat Sachet with the Mineral Divisions of DOR said that regardless of the court ruling, which he thinks is in November, it probably will also be appealed to Supreme Court. So this funds would have to be held probably for a couple of years, I think, before it's done.
Do you know the amount?
So with interest, it was $16,877.28. So an M&K called me and they said they didn't feel like they should be paying that since it's being appealed. So then I checked with DOR and they said, no, you do process that normally as we did. You guys signed the NODC. But it's just I have to hold those funds and I cannot disperse them to any entities until there's been a ruling.
I think that, putting that in escrow account is just a standard operating procedure for it when those are appealed like that. That way, we don't have the money, they don't have the money, but it's guaranteed to one of the entities is going to end up with the money. I have it in the escrow account.
Yes, if they win, they get refunded that money plus the interest that accrues. And if they lose it, then we can then disperse that to the entities. But I've got to hold that separately. So this is the first one that we've done. And so will need to open an escrow account at one of the banks to hold these separately and isolate it from the other funds.
And they did also receive a rebate from us, M&K did.
Yes, they did both a rebate and a supplement.
So we gave them money, but now they're disputing what they gave us.
Well, they're disputing both, I think.
Do what?
They're disputing both.
Oh, they're disputing both. Even
The whole
rebate?
thing.
Okay.
The audit findings, they feel that they paid the correct amount, it sounds like.
So the money we paid now is the money in the escrow.
No, they cashed our check. And there is a bit of kind of muddy understanding for me whether appeal and protested taxes, if it's one and the same, if it's different. It sounds like it's not really clear on what defines protested. So I've been also, just on how I need to process that with interest, without interest. Did they officially notify me? They didn't really officially notify me, they were protesting, but there is the appeal with DOR. And they did not do any formal notifications in writing according to statute.
Feel like you got a handle on that. What you gotta do, I guess.
Yeah, we just want you to be informed of what was happening.
Yeah. So, and then that would also create another bank account. So I don't know if you guys have to agree that we create another bank account or.
I don't know, I guess I'm unfamiliar with when you say an escrow versus just a standard CD or something. Is it something that you can just go to Pinnacle or somebody or first across the street here and say, I need to create an escrow account?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So a motion to create an escrow account for the M&K
Appeal,
I guess.
So moved.
Motion properly moved by Ed. Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion.
Escrow account is just for other people's money.
yeah,
It's actually just you're holding it in trust.
yeah, you're just safekeeping it until somebody gets paid.
So when you create that with the bank, does Weston County's name land on that and M&K's name?
Yes.
And the bank
Yeah.
then lets them know that this money is in?
Yeah, and you'll probably have to sign the papers that were open in it.
The new store. This is the one-stop shop. We have a pharmacy. We have a bootlegger's liquor. The deli, the food that you can get at a lunchtime is so amazing. The coffee shop. Certain Friday mornings, there's 30 people sitting here in all these chairs. This is the hub for people to come and visit, have their coffee, have their donuts. It's amazing what this area has done. Totally amazing.
Mr. Trist, do we need to attach a dollar amount to that?
Well, the interest is gonna change over here, so.
Yeah, and whether or not the interest, because they owe delinquent interest with us, but sounds like I have to disperse the tax interest, but keep the base tax payment in the escrow. And then it will also accrue interest at being held in the bank. So I believe it is just the base tax amount that gets held in the escrow, which is about 8,000 something. I have to get you that number exactly. 16,000 is with the tax interest for being delinquent. Because these were 2019 mineral productions, 2020 tax year, which are being disputed.
Discussion. All those in favor of the motion on the floor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Thank you, ladies.
Yeah, I think we're up again. Now we're doing the telephones.
And this is the stuff that we're, maybe had a spare one.
Yeah, we're piggybacking or something on the public health or something. Chris knows more about it if okay. Her and Kim have been working pretty close together on this one too. Did you give them copies? I did. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm short. There's sorry, short.
Okay.
So we've got lots of options in there. I've done it, public health currently has a phone system with range. And so I've done it where we just combine everything. It'd be public health, WIC, and the courthouse, pretty much second floor. The top numbers that kind of have the split in it is the, first is public health. The one that stands by itself, the BYOP, which is bring your own phone, is WIC, and then below that is the courthouse. I've done both purchase and lease for both options. The other option is just the courthouse with the public health and WIC the way it is. We are using one of the phones from public health at the courthouse because they are compatible. I have to replace 2 phones in public health to move them to the cloud. We need router phones, and that's what the new phones would be. I didn't know how to do, there's 3 phones up for grab from public health, but they're not the premium phones that I've got on proposal. And I wasn't about to pick who was gonna get the lesser phones. So there's still that option if we can use it, but.
We did cut 7 phones from the first
Yes.
Quote.
So, would you mind coming up here and helping me disseminate what
Yes.
I'm looking at?
No, I don't mind. Yes, I will.
I'm real confused.
Okay.
So let's start with the $5,427. What's this?
Okay, so this is the purchase option. So the $3,360 would be purchasing the phones. The $667 is the conference phone. This is your monthly charges for your maintenance and your licensing and your SIP pads. Is this and this for the $492.
Is it going to pay over the 3-year term?
Yes.
Okay.
Buy that.
And then, let's just go ahead and do the lease. So this would be the lease, and this is courthouse only, so the 607.50. This would be just leasing equipment per month, so there's no upfront cost. There's just the monthly charge. Okay?
As if we buy the funds outright.
That people follow or do I need to repeat?
Yep.
Okay. And then the other one that's in there, I think it's the other side of the folder, is with the 3 entities. And again, the purchase and the lease.
And this is taking 7 funds.
We will still have, if we need to do the outright purchase, we still have to do the $432 a month.
Plus the 60/50, so the 490.
$492 a month.
Correct. Okay. Yep.
So, outright purchase over lease appears to save you $100 roughly a month.
That's pretty minimal, actually. I know the last time I was here, the question was asked about interest. We do not charge interest. We divide it by 36 and round. So.
I have a question. If we put all the funds together, doesn't that kind of mess up budgets? And I mean, if we have the public health funds or the courthouse funds,
Well,
what is that gonna do to budgeting?
we break it. Right now, as it is, in the courthouse, we have all the departments on one bill anyways, and we have to break it apart already.
Okay.
It comes as one bill.
The SIP pass and the license fee, that would be shared throughout the whole phone system. Otherwise, things are divided between the 3 bills on what they're using, the phones, if they have switches, anything like that. So it'd just be those 2 items that you would still have to continue. Your choice, council's choice as to what they do with that, but
By combining them, we save $154 a month, which over the 3-year contract is $5,544 savings by sharing the SIP pass. Rather than public health paying and then us paying double.
So currently, public health alone pays $432 a month just on phones. And I'm not sure what WIC is, but, and I don't know what you guys are paying for your current phone system, so that's something we'd have to think about.
I did pull numbers from what I understand. I haven't scrubbed, so this is pretty high level. But with the long distance, the internet, and the POS lines and the plain old telephone numbers that you currently have on your bill, you're at $390.46 a month. The bid that has just the courthouse by itself, it does have the gig internet on there too, just to kind of bring that back into the conversation.
I've got a question now. Is that all including our upgrade on the
The gig.
The gig?
The gig is
Okay.
The gig is in the courthouse only proposal.
Okay.
It's not, I don't have it.
Okay, I was just curious.
It's a $20 difference.
Okay.
No, it's more than that, because you're at reduced cost, so it's $32 difference.
I think you guys allotted the new phone system for $25,000 in the budget.
commission can combine them?
I think the pro would be is the savings, the con would be possibly sharing that internet with just a heavier load.
The internet wouldn't be shared between the two. The internet would only be for the courthouse. So what's on the internet connection now, what's on the 100 by 100 would be on 1,000 by 1,000.
But the phones are on the cloud though, right?
You're
That call
right.
it.
Yeah,
So-
that would share it. Voice doesn't use a lot. Voice is picky, but it doesn't use a lot.
Is it speed wise, what are we looking at in the courthouse? I mean, as far as internet, is it gonna have an effect on speed wise when you say that con? So we already have issues in our room. I think it's a multifaceted issue. It's not just speed, it's probably the old system that's on the wall. But do you think we'd see a decrease in there potentially? When you go to the, or would we see a better increase when you go to the 1,000 by 1,000?
By 1,000, well, you'd have 10 times more the bandwidth to use it in the courthouse. So if you don't see an improvement, we need to look at what's bottlenecking it, because I mean, the phones are not going to use that difference. The phones really don't use a lot of data. Like I said, it's picky. You start getting packet loss, and that's where you get the chippy or the choppy up, and you can't understand it. It's because you're getting packet loss.
So will they have to have two internets like we do? Because I mean, they have the same Golden West that we do. So are you gonna run into the same issue? So apparently Golden West says that we have to have our phone on a separate internet than our actual internet.
I was thinking there was something else that was going on with you guys that we kept it separate.
We might want to look into that because we are county internet, and it's all through Golden West.
Okay.
So that might be something we'll definitely want to figure out.
Right. And if that was the case, I wouldn't put just the phone system on a gig. That's overkill. That's not necessary.
So we could see a little more cost if we had to do that. Can you find that out for us? Potentially let Kim know or somebody to let us know maybe at the next meeting.
Sure.
I did reach out to Charles too for a report on what our draw is, but I think he's been out with the new baby. He hasn't gotten back to me on that. We'll reach out to him again.
I'm all for better internet up there, or in that building, you know that. So.
And then as far as buying the phones outright versus leasing, you would save $300, but if they break, the county would be responsible if we buy them outright. If they break while we're leasing them, Range would replace them.
Correct.
Okay, after 36, if say we just do the monthly lease, after 36 months, do those phones become ours or they go back to you?
No, they become yours.
Become ours?
Yep, and then the lease that's kind of built into that is they drop off because you paid for them.
Basically, they're ours and there's no warranty left on.
Correct. Yep. And then the monthly fee would just continue.
Yeah, the monthly fee.
Yeah.
And over 36 months, if we lease them, it would save us $1,287 at the courthouse. Over the 3 years, by leasing them cheaper than we own them outright at the end. If we buy them up front, there's no warranty on them, is there?
Correct. I mean, there'd be the manufacturer warranty,
Yeah.
so if they're bad out of the box, yeah, it's gonna be warranted.
It'd make more sense to lease them over in the big picture where they become ours after 36 months.
Ask a question. With the internet for the phone lines, can we be on the same internet for just the phone lines?
I'm gonna say no. Yes, it's possible, but I think we'd be adding in cost to make
Okay.
it one
Instead of two separate,
instead of
it's still gonna be more.
Yeah, just because you're not in the same location.
Okay.
For you and Wick to be on the same internet connection, it's the same building.
In addition to the weekly printed version of the newsletter journal, we also promote our community and share important information on our award-winning website, newslj.com, and in our weekly email newsletter, Nuke Now. We also connect with readers through various social media platforms and invite you to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can even take a look at a recent meeting of the City Council, School Board, or County Commission on our YouTube channel. We do hope that you will go to newslj.com and subscribe today, and we look forward to making all of our great content available to you. But regardless of your level of support, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts for doing your part to preserve a free and independent local press.
Sure.
But we're looking almost across town between the courthouse and public health, so.
I just didn't know with the cloud thing, how that all works.
Yeah, it would be the internet connection to get to the cloud is what you'd be sharing then.
Okay.
And then you're doing SD-WAN, or you're doing the LAN, or we're just adding cost to it. Wow.
Well, maybe if we can get a little bit of that info and Kim, maybe the next meeting we could make a decision. You said 25, Susie, you think is what we set aside?
I think that's what you said when you.
Seems right.
Because you put that and the air conditioners and something else together, copiers.
Okay. And we're under that, it looks like. That's math, is right.
It's probably wrong.
That 25 was for the current budgets, current budget. Well, if we spread this out for 3 years, we're not actually using the 25 right up front.
About 80 a year. What does the board think? Suggestions or additions? Thank you for coming in, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Helping us out with this.
Yeah, my pleasure.
What a long drive for you.
It was a beautiful day, so it was good.
Now you have to go back.
Yeah. Thanks, Grace. Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I want to do something else, okay.
Yeah, the cleaning, also.
Again.
Yeah, no problem. So for the cleaning, I am leaving the last week of September for vacation, and then when I get back, I have surgery. So I will not be able to clean for about 6 weeks or so. I have already talked to Steve. He's gonna cover me all but for 1 week, and then I think Amber said she can jump in and help, just kind of cover and make sure everything's taken care of. But I just wanted to let you know, since it was such an extended time, we kind of got it worked out. But you'll see vouchers for pay from Steve and maybe Amber or whoever we get to kind of fill in.
Oh, great, I think you're doing a good job.
Thank you.
Appreciate you helping out.
Just more just letting you know on that.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Thanks, Kim.
Yep. That's it.
I think the meeting's over now.
Master agreement between Airport Engineering Services and owner and engineer. Do you ever hear anything from the city side of that?
No, and this is the one that you guys wanted me to scan and send back out to you guys. That's what I did, because we had it at the previous meeting, but it was, I guess, the typical one that you get every year.
So do we usually sign it, and once we sign it, then it goes to the city, is that how it typically works? Mr. Chair,
I don't know which is first, but usually.
Somebody starts
Yeah,
the
signature from both.
And this is a rolling one that happens every year, right?
Mr. Chair, it is. There's some things when I looked that over, it had, I think your bullet points right there. One of them that was mentioned in there was construct parallel taxiway. That is gonna be on the master plan, but they have to have something. This is through Morrison Murley out of Gillette as the engineers, and Tim and his colleague puts that together, and it's adjusted depending on needs of the airport. A lot of it has to do with it's on the master plan. It could be the resurfacing of the current runway. To me, that would be more maintenance, but it's still incorporated into the master plan.
I would entertain a motion for chairman's signature on the master agreement for professional airport engineering services between the owner and the engineer.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Mr. Chair, I'll recuse myself from the vote.
Thank you, Gary. All in favor of the motion on the floor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Alright. Here, who tests my signature? You?
Yeah.
So you have to stamp it.
No, she said, she signed, she signed, say she watched, she signed it. There should be signature, that's for signature.
Yeah. Okay, Christy, you've prepared to
I am, I think.
fill us in with all sorts of good stuff.
Alright.
Christy is our community prevention, you know, right? What else are you wear many hats?
That's good. Do you, I was like, and I brought copies if you need them. So there's two things, for signature. One is the point of contact form, and then the other one is the grant agreement that the AG has signed. So we just need the signature from you, Nate, and then from the county attorney on that one. The point of contract is just your signature on that one, and that just basically gives Amber the ability to sign off on the reimbursement request. So those two things. As far as like an update, we still do not have a approved work plan from the Department of Health. Yesterday I finally, I think, rode them long enough that they responded, and there's one part of our work plan that I put in for us to work with some of the other organizations in the community, like 4-H and the after-school programs, to provide programming and do some things there. And that was, they just, for whatever reason, that they weren't going to approve that. So I scratched that completely. We'll probably put that in the Drug-Free Communities grant. And then that money that I have is about $3,600, and there is actually, I moved to the, another budget for sources of strength, because Upton High School is going to be embedding that program into their actual learning day. There's some things we're gonna do there that can use up those funds. So I'm hopeful that they will approve that. It's all over $3,600. That's where they're hanging up. So I'm hoping that they'll approve that this week and then we'll be good to go. Because right now we can't submit any reimbursement requests until that action plan or the plan of work is approved. So that's really kind of holding us up. So if I don't have a signature by the end, or a work plan by the end of the week, I may be reaching out for some more support from you guys. I have already talked to Clark and Gina about that as well, just because we're now 10 weeks since that has been submitted, and we're going into the 3rd month of the first quarter with nothing, which I think is very frustrating for me, and I don't think it's fair for District 7 to have to be, you know, floating the funds because of their holding things up. So that's where that's at. And they did make me move some things around anyway, so like salary and rent and all of those things, they didn't allow me to split 50-50 between the two grants. So I moved some of those things around, so that does make the funds that are that District 7 is currently paying for a little more than they had been out of that grant. So I'm where we're at. But and we did get approved, which really doesn't pertain to this, but we did get our federal funding. I got that announcement yesterday morning, so we are funded for that $125,000 for the next year for the federal grant. So we do have those funds. It's not like we aren't going to get these community prevention grant funds. It's just we're in a holding pattern.
Yeah.
So.
A motion approving both the grant agreement and the point of contact signature. Or 2 separate motions if we want to proceed that route.
Christie, is the attachment A, is that an attachment to this? Or are they separate?
I don't even know what they have. Okay, so attachment A is really just the scope of the grant. So
it is part of this?
It is part of this,
Okay.
yeah.
So we could do one motion maybe, for 2 signatures, since one is an attachment.
No, there's the third one.
Yeah,
There's a point of
and then there's a
Point of
contact
contact form,
form,
yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
Yeah, they can't make anything like succinct.
Here's attachment A, it's just a supplemental of this is what they do with these funds.
And really, it's a requirement for us. It really puts our requirements in there, like that we have, what we have to do for reporting, that we have to attend 1 annual meeting, some of those things.
This is the point of contact form.
Oh.
We don't have a copy of that.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sorry.
Oh, that's fine. It's just,
Okay. That's okay.
it is,
That's all right. I was just gonna. Okay.
your name's on there, Mr.
No, it's just I guess my signature approving the board's approval for Amber?
Yeah, because the way the statute is written is that the money has to come to you, but then that just basically says that, that Clark is my direct supervisor, and then that Amber is allowed to sign those reimbursement requests every month, so they don't have to come directly to you guys to be signed.
I would make a motion to authorize chairman's signature on the point of contact form. Second. For the community prevention grant.
Okay. Motion properly seconded for the chairman's signature on the point of contact info form for the community prevention grant. Discussion. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chair, I move for your signature on the grant agreement between Wyoming Department of Health, Public Health Division, and Weston County.
Second.
Motion properly seconded for the chairman's signature on the Wyoming Department of Health, Public Health Division, and Weston County grant agreement. Discussion on that. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
So Amber, as soon as I have approval, I will let you know, and then I will send you July and August reimbursement requests. And then the other thing I just wanted to share with you guys too, that's tied to the problem gambling funds, is that Casey and Leslie did go to the conference, and they said they got a wealth of knowledge. And so I think at the first meeting in October, they're going to come and share with you kind of what they learned and some pieces of that. And then I think other than they have some per diem that needs to go to Amber, and otherwise all of that I think has been submitted for reimbursement. I'll double check. But they said the conference was really, really good, and they came away with a lot. And I actually went to a couple of sessions at the conference I was at in Orlando that they tied into our substance use prevention conference, because they're really correlating the two things, problem gambling and substance use, together now. So that is kind of interesting that they're kind of starting to roll those things and tie them all together. So they will come and give you guys a presentation, so I'll send you an email about that. So, yeah.
Thanks, Christy.
Thank you guys.
Thanks, Christy.
Okay, next up is WAM, Association of Municipalities. It's an energy lease program request for proposal. It's appears what the association is looking to do is to increase energy efficiency at county, state, or looks like local county buildings maybe. Do you know much about this, Nick?
Yeah, I didn't even just thought you guys might want to take a look at it, see if it's anything. I think there's some time, December
18th. Probably take home.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll get it for our next meeting then, if you guys just recently got this.
Yeah.
Well, interestingly enough, Kelly Marr is a joint oversight board member, so maybe she knows something about it.
She'll have a good handle on it.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I guess we'll take her home, check it out, and visit Kelly maybe. the second meeting
Okay.
and do that, but then we'll have a better idea of what we want.
So really, the meat of it is that second full paragraph there, where you basically get, you'll lease a furnace for so many years, if it's it's more efficient. Basically, you buy something over 5 years or 8-year period with no interest, is what the lease does, is what it amounts to.
So like the deal with we're looking at that they're doing at the sheriff's department right now,
Yeah.
might qualify or something like
It would
that.
qualify.
However, do we put it off till after?
Well, if it's something we want to pursue, we've got how many more furnaces in that building?
Yeah.
That need it,
Yeah.
you know.
Okay.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, sir.
And I've noticed just the language of a lot of different departments and stuff. I'm noticing some long-term things, not even just a month, but maybe like years out. And in a lot of different, it could be on the efficiency side of it, it could be on telephones, it could be whatever. That is going to be quite the language to try to grasp for upcoming elected officials, even though some of them are probably the best options. Some of these are going to be, or what kind of a lease program do we have for the furnaces, and my goodness, every appliance we have,
Yeah.
maybe, or something. You see what I'm saying? They could be quite the undertaking.
Yeah.
Countywide.
Well, my other concern with that too is the record keeping on our end to keep all this up, is it gonna offset? Is it gonna be worth getting involved with, you know, on the record keep on the paperwork side of it? You know, for public facilities, so like your little local library, you know, where they don't have enough money in their budget to buy one furnace, you know, they could put it over 10 years with no interest.
Yeah.
Things like that
might help. Yeah.
Say for instance, second paragraph, it says, for example, a lease to replace an inefficient furnace costing $10,000 could be a 2-year lease with $1,000 annual. So this board could approve of that setup, have our budget be completely different in 2 years from now, requesting a balloon payment of $8,000 on, could be a different board. Yeah, that's something to think about. But putting things off later on isn't necessarily the wisest choice if it's dollar for dollar.
Or you could renew it for 4 more terms too.
Right.
And I think that's the way they word that way you're not tying a future board into a set payment.
Right.
Tell you a little bit about, see some of their thoughts. I'm sure there's some good ideas. Anything else on the WCCA WAM energy lease deal? The whole business, move on to new business. Well, the treasurer's reports needs some approval and signatures on it.
I'll make a motion to approve the treasurer cash detail report and the revenue report.
Second.
Motion probably second to approve both reports. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thanks, Nina. You're up. You want to go first? have anything you want to, Commissioner, comment?
Oh, you talking to me?
Yeah, I figured you'll be the first done signing, so you can have a clearer head if you have something you want to.
Not really, except that I was thinking about the problem we have with this firewall and switch and the grant that we told them that we didn't want. I think well, I was against not doing it in the first place, but this is becoming even more convoluted, and I understand the communication clearly. If those pieces have been there for 2 years, I'm sure they just got overlooked. The communication, somebody put the cart before the horse there. And however, this grant, I understand that it's going to be reverting back probably, was for cybersecurity, and my understanding was it was a little bit like the grant money we're going to get for the courthouse security. It was set up for that, so it was a kind of a for sure thing. I guess I would think that we need to look at those things a little bit closer, maybe sometimes, and not be so quick to make a decision on it. But also, we need to work on our communication on these things with Gilbert and whoever else is involved. It's kind of it's become a little bit of a mess here, so.
Agreed.
That's it.
You need another paper, but they're all good.
All those are
Sign them
fine.
all. It's the same number.
I'll sign that one.
You signed the original.
Okay, I'll sign. The other one's just an autograph for some reason.
Then you have the one you originally signed here.
Okay. Well, I was wondering, I was looking for the tape, but I couldn't find it. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
I thought we did
that the last time we were here in Upton.
It's possible.
I think so.
This one's been signed. That's the signature page there.
I took a simple job and made it.
Signature page.
Garrett, you got anything you want?
I don't today.
Ed?
Yeah, August 11th, the WCCA congressional tour came through town. We toured the RER plant out here. There was 14 staffers from DC. They were from all different offices. They kind of had national environmental ones, you know, kind of the Forest Service, kind of there was those out of those offices, and then we had a lot out of the energy offices in DC. There were seven Democrats, 7 Republicans. Then we went and toured the refinery in Newcastle before they got sent on to Cook County. A lot of good questions was asked by the staffers. It got a lot of wheels turning, I think. Got some people thinking outside the box on some of the policies that they're setting in DC, how it actually affects people out here on the ground. One of the big ones was there's a policy in California where you tear down destroy your almond orchard, you get to bio credits for using it for biofuel. But you go back when the orchard was planted, it had to be planted with the intent to be harvested for biofuel, not for almonds. So it just got them thinking about a little bit of wording in the bills they're writing, how it's affecting people on the local level. And one the big one at the refinery was the E15 initiative that's trying to come out of DC, saying that all gasoline will have a minimum of 15% ethanol in it. Well, you take a refinery that's in Hawaii. They don't have ethanol in Hawaii, so they have to ship it on ships across the ocean, which drives the costs up. Even here in the United States, some areas, the ethanol isn't as readily available. So by the time you transport it in, it drives the cost of your gasoline up by mandating that it has the 15% renewable fuel in it. So it opened up a lot of eyes, got a lot of wheels turning, and it was a very good tour. I wish we'd had more time so we could have did a little more sightseeing and fun things in our county, but overall, the staffers really enjoyed it, accepted it. That's what I got.
Okay. Just want to thank Upton again for letting us use their chambers, and that's all I have. So, no other business coming before the board.